Rumia, the yokai of the dusk, the one with the privilege of being the first boss of embodiment of Scarlet Devil and the Windows games as a whole. Rumia is as standard a yokai as you can get. Her only mainline appearance was in USD, where she was pretty much irrelevant, but acted as a good demonstration of the lighthearted tone that game goes for. A comment by Sun also states her ability to envelop herself in darkness was meant to create an association with vampires, who dislike sunlight, and of course also appear in embodiment of Scarlet Devil. In fact, Rumia will later go on to explain the effects the sun has on her, which really makes you wonder about what her species really is. Or maybe she just has a really bad sun allergy. That unique ability to manipulate darkness is what granted her the title of the Yokai of Dusk. In Bohemian Archive in Japanese Red, she's shown creating an aura of darkness around herself, making her essentially look like a black hole, which she seems to mainly use as a way to shield herself from sunlight during the day, and also causes her to bump into trees very often. She's pretty much always emitting darkness except on nights of a new moon, where her figure can be seen clearly according to reports, perhaps due to yokai being weaker on nights where the moon can't be seen. In the games, we see Rumia using her ability only once, her spell card Darkness Side, Dark Side of the Moon in Shoot the Bullet, during which she covers herself in darkness. Despite being pretty weak, Rumia is one of the few yokai to be explicitly mentioned to attack and eat humans. She is straight up referred to as the man-eating yokai, though according to her, she doesn't really plan or actively seek out her prey, which may mean she's rather opportunistic in this regard. That said, a weak yokai is still a yokai, so it's best for humans not to challenge her. Most of her day-to-day life though seems to consist of simply flying through the air aimlessly, and bumping into trees. Actually, the reason she doesn't really hunt humans might be because she's a bit of an airhead. Of interest in her design is the ribbon she wears on her hair, which her USD profile points out is a charm. Nothing else is said about it, other than Rumia finding out she can't touch it when trying to take it off, most likely a one-off joke by Sun, or perhaps she was at one point supposed to be the stage 1 boss turned extra boss, the same way Rika was in Story of Eastern Wonderland. Nevertheless, this has given rise to many interpretations of what would happen if her ribbon were to be taken off, often resulting in Rumia powering up and losing her childlike appearance, but again that's purely fanon. The phrase "is that so" has become synonym with Rumia in Touhou, pretty much acting as her catchphrase. Another recognizable aspect is how she's often seen with her arms outstretched. In one of her dialogues she mentions doing this because it looks like the saint crucified on the cross, which obviously can only mean Rumia is actually one of the few people in Gensokyo who know of Jesus Christ. That's really all about Rumia. Just a silly little girl and yet another stage 1 boss that has been forgotten with time. Unlike other stage 1 bosses, however, she has amassed quite a bit of popularity, probably due to her appearance in USD. Apparently she was also originally planned as a character for Scarlet with the Rhapsody's expansion, Hiso Tensoku, but was ultimately scrapped. Nowadays, she only makes cameo appearances in manga and such, but she's still out there, and if you let your guard down, she might be the last thing you see, assuming she's not bumping into trees.